Hey my friends, welcome back to Simple Happy Zen. We have a little bonus video this week. It's a bit different from how my videos usually look, but I'm really excited about this and I wanted to share it with you guys. So last week I had the honor to be interviewed by Leanne Pruitt as part of the Ace Your Space Summit, Clear Your Physical and Mental Clutter to Transform Your Life. I had a lot of fun with it and I wanted to share the interview with you guys. So there are two short videos and today is part 1 of 2. If you guys liked it, you know what to do and share your thoughts on some of these topics in the comment section down below. Let's begin.
Hey, Ace Your Spacers, welcome to another great Facebook interview. I have Vera with us today from Simple Happy Zen. Hey Vera, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I am so glad you're here. Vera has a lovely website and YouTube channel called Simple Happy Zen, and she talks. She's got some wonderful topics on minimalism, mindfulness, and being happy. So I wanted to get Vera on here and talk to her today. So, like I said, Vera, welcome.
Yeah, again, thanks so much for having me. It's my first time being interviewed ever, so.
Oh, well, that's exciting. That's very exciting. I'm glad I'm your first interviewer. So now, first of all, I wanted to ask you, how did you get where you are as far as with your minimalism and your mindfulness and the Zen and the happy and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it's something that really happened very gradually for me. I'm always the type of person who gets into things because somehow it draws me in.
Mm-hmm.
And something clicked with me and I want to start learning more about it. So it happens very gradually. It started, well, my minimalism journey started, I guess, a little over 5 years ago. So it was a long time already. And at the time, I was living at my parents' still, and I was moving into my first apartment with my boyfriend. And as you can imagine, I was going through all my stuff, thinking like, what would I want to take with me? And that's kind of when it started. Also, I had this really internal feeling that I wanted to be, I don't know, I guess a little bit freer or something. And I felt like all that stuff was kind of weighing me down in a way. So I wanted to kind of let loose a little bit and yeah, be more free, I guess. And that manifested on decluttering all my things.
So did you see that it made a difference for you when you did start getting rid of things and kind of adopting a more minimalist lifestyle?
Yeah, I noticed a change almost instantly. I guess I kind of got hooked on it very in the beginning because it just felt great to go through my drawers and I remember my first decluttering project was this drawer in my bedroom, and it has these like three big drawers on top of each other, and there were all kinds of crap that was in there, all kinds of stuff, and my makeup, my study books, and socks, whatever, everything was put in there. And I remember when I was done with that drawer, it felt so great, and I immediately was like, yeah, I want to do this, with everything.
You
So
know, in our Ace Your Space Summit, we had a lot of speakers that said just that. It's once you start one thing and see the results in one place, you want to do more.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And at the time, I was already way into the whole mindfulness meditation thing because I started that when I was quite young. I guess I don't know the exact age, but maybe 13, 14. So I was already pretty mindful of my internal world, I guess, and I noticed how it made me feel a lot calmer and more at ease, and as I mentioned, freer. So it was a nice feeling.
Right. Well, I think that today, here's my thought. I think today with our consumerist society, um, we do so many things mindlessly. We mindlessly shop, we mindlessly eat, we mindlessly just do whatever. And I think that really, going towards minimalism, or even, you know, seriously taking on a project to declutter and to, you know, organize out of chaos your space from disorganization, you have to be mindful. So I'm sure that just fit right in, and it was very helpful for you because you already had a mindfulness practice.
Yeah, I guess that really helped for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now, tell me about Simple Happy Zen. What made you start that, you know, that website and YouTube channel?
I last year I was working, and eventually I got a burnout, and it was a pretty challenging period in my life, as you can imagine. And I just noticed that even though it was challenging, the tools of mindfulness and the fact that I led a very simple minimalist lifestyle really helped me through it. And I noticed that even though I was having a difficult time, I was still a happy person. I still felt happy and content. And I thought, yeah, this is really powerful things. And when I started feeling better a few months after that, I just got this internal like urge to share it with the world. The great things that I've experienced, and also by talking with my friends and family, they told me that they are going through similar things like I was. You know, life is always busy, hectic, stressful. So I really wanted to create a place where people could find some calm and zen to add to their day. So that's when I come up with the YouTube channel thing, which is actually really funny because I'm quite camera shy, or I used to be. So my friends and family were really shocked when I told them I wanted to do this. But I'm having great fun with it so far.
Well, you know, your YouTube channel and your website are both lovely. So I'm just going to tell all you Acer Spacers watching to be sure and go check it out. You've got some wonderful things on there, and I'm going to delve into that in a little bit. But first I wanted to ask you, you know, this summit, this group of interviews that we've been doing, it's under the title of Ace Your Space. Clear your physical and mental clutter to transform your life is the whole title. But when I say Ace Your Space, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means to me to create a space, whether it's your house or a mental space, that really suits you and that, you know, fits your personality and your lifestyle and your preferences, and where you can feel like you can thrive and be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be different for everyone. But I guess create a space that works for you instead of against you, and you can make really small changes that make it easier for yourself to, for example, keep your space organized.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to actually be a messy person, so I had to teach myself some habits, but also not want to create the perfect minimalist home. You know, try to do it your own way that suits you and that you can feel like you can thrive in. I guess that's what Ace Your Space means to me. Not creating the perfect minimalist house, but creating your own perfect space.
And you know, I think you're absolutely right. You said something that I think is really key in there. You mentioned habits, and I think that really is all of this is. We have whatever our behavior is around our space, mental or physical. You know, if we go in and just throw things around, and if we go in and have a lot of stuff, it's a habit, and habits can be changed. So I think that's a real key thing there.
Yeah, and also, as I said, I used to be quite messy, especially when I felt stressed out. I used to be someone who couldn't really clean or tidy up when I felt stressed. I would just, you know, throw things everywhere and just let them be. And I found that decluttering itself was already really helpful, because right now I don't really have that much stuff to throw around anymore. So, you know, making it easier for yourself is also a big part of it, I think.
Exactly. That's it. I was having dinner last night with my cousin, and she told me about a friend of hers who just, like, her house is so, my cousin said that the friend's house is so cluttered, she can't even stand, it's like hard for her to be over there. And the friend is always spending time looking for stuff, and there's always a lot of drama around stuff. And she's, you know, she's spending a lot of time that she doesn't have
Mm.
on things that she doesn't really need to, if she would just modify her habits. So
Yeah,
yes.
it can be difficult. I can imagine it was for me in the beginning too. But I always say, you know, take small steps, baby steps, and eventually, you know, you'll get to where you're more mindful with your space.
Exactly. Now that makes me wonder, you know, when I talked about my cousin and her friend, when you started doing this, did it make an impact on your friends and family? Have others of them started on a minimalist journey or mindfulness type journey?
Well, my friends ask me about it. And you know, I'm not the type of person who talks about these things on my own because I feel like, you know, maybe this really isn't your thing and you're allowed to do your own thing.
Exactly.
When people ask me, of course, I share what I think, and people take on small things. You can see them doing little things, like my mother. She decluttered a really old, how do you call that in English, like a sewing box with all kinds of like threads and stuff that she hasn't used in
Yes.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So those are small things that you can see like, oh, okay, someone is thinking about something.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up, you know, my father was already into mindfulness a bit, so I kind of got that habit from him as well. And my boyfriend and I have been together for a very long time, 15 years now, so really long time. And his parents are also really into the mindfulness meditation thing, so I get to learn from different places and different people in my life too. So it's kind of a back and forth too, which I really like.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we've been speaking for a while, so what I want to do now, Acer Spacers and Vera, is we're going to pause the interview now. This is part one, and tomorrow we'll come back with part two. So, Acer Spacers, be sure and tune in tomorrow. So until then, I'll say goodbye.
Bye bye.